Hiya, folks, it's St. Patrick's Day, and we're here to discuss the enraged Emerald Goliath himself, because, hey, it's not easy being green.
So we're here to talk about one of our favorite animated Hulk films, Hulk versus. And in this Smashdown, in this corner, we have the Sultan of Smash himself, the Hulk.
And in this corner, the little man, who's the best there is at what he does, the Wolverine.
In the animated short called
Hulk versus Wolverine.
Clover.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're in the St. Patrick's Day spirit tonight, aren't we, BlueDragonFive?
Yes, we are. We're seeing green.
Oh dear, oh dear. Alright, so we've already discussed Hulk versus Thor, which was my personal favorite out of the two. Now we're going to get into BlueDragonFive's personal favorite out of the two, Hulk versus Hulk versus Wolverine. Yeah, indeed. So, as we said, it's St. Patrick's Day, and I don't know. Honestly, the only other thing I could have thought of to talk about on St. Patrick's Day was that terrible Disney Channel movie, The Luck of the Irish, about the basketball players or something
movie?
like that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So maybe next year.
Oh, God. The kid turning into a leprechaun?
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's like a basketball player, and then he turns into a leprechaun.
Well, thank God we didn't talk about that.
There's no Charlie Brown St. Patrick's Day, is there?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was really disappointed. It never did.
All right, well, you know I've got the Easter Beagle on the horizon, and I'm pumped up about that.
Yeah, we're close to it. Had it been like some one of those, not a leap year, but something like where that would have been somehow in March, then we would have talked about it.
Right. Well, anyways, it is St. Patrick's Day now. We figured appropriately enough because we talk about Marvel stuff quite often, so
we like the Hulk.
One of the best parts of Marvel is the Hulk, and one of the best things that the Hulk has been in, outside of I'd say the Avengers films, is probably this compilation of Hulk versus.
Age of Ultron's on our.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Age of Ultron's on our mind, so we want to build up some hype.
Yeah. So we have. We're going to go through, we're going to talk about some of our favorite moments, kind of what led to this, and then at the end, we're kind of going to speculate about some of the other Hulk versus matchups that we'd like to see within the Marvel Universe. So, you want to get going with a bit of an origin story, BlueDragonFive?
Sure. Mine used to speculate origin stories. You can't really get any clear answers on them, so just pretty much all you'll find in the commenters and stuff is like, hey, Marvel asked us to do this, so we did it, pretty much. Let's speculate maybe the reasons in the higher-ups why we got this film. So you'll notice it's interesting that this movie came out kind of in between. So basically, after the Incredible Hulk movie came out, so basically Marvel's all geared up in their cinematic movie phase right at the moment. So I'm speculating they did that to kind of promote the Hulk, but also interestingly enough, kind of like the animated universe is kind of immune to the logistical rights issues of Marvel. So
that's true.
So technically, mind you, there are exceptions. Like Fox, kind of when they get into the Fox territory, it gets muddy because like one of the other Hulk animated films, they can't use the Silver Surfer because at that time he was owned by Fox.
I love the Silver Surfer, and I'd really like to see him in the MCU, but that's a whole different story.
True. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to appear in the animated version because of that. So, And the point is, this is like one of the exceptions where they're kind of immune to that, so that we can actually have genuine crossovers here, and even in the animation, like now more than ever, we can actually have animation crossovers of all breeds in the Marvel.
Yeah, Spider-Man was like in the mix a lot even before the Sony deal happened, for example.
Of course. So with that said, so basically, so it's in 2009. Later in 2009, we'd have the massively disappointing film Hulk. Not the Hulk. It would be Wolverine Origins.
Oh God, where they literally stapled Deadpool's mouth shut.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that so they got the Incredible Hulk, and look, we got the Hulk. We're gonna build him up for the Avengers. But what we can do in the meantime? What are we gonna do to help kind of cross promote our other Marvel cousins, if you will? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna promote Wolverine because at this time, what was interesting at this time, the Wolverine the X-Men cartoon was in production to promote the movie Wolverine Origins. So that was actually in the works at this time. And the idea here was, hey, Yosin, you're gonna have an episode where Hulk and Wolverine meet.
Right.
In that show, and they do have an episode where they fight each other, and it's kind of it's a censored sequel to this.
Oh God. Okay.
So essentially, they figured, hey, why don't we have like kind of our first version here? Again, I might be screwing up the order there. The point is they kind of figured, okay, let's have Hulk and Wolverine fight each other because that show was in the works, and they figured, hey, let's do like an uncensored version.
Okay,
that's what we got here. Gotcha. They kind of homage is the big, because remember the big reason they thought of this is because a classic story in Marvel, one of the best Marvel comics ever. One of the big
let's talk about that.
Yeah, one of the big Marvel comics was the Incredible Hulk number 180 and 181. That's when Wolverine was first introduced in the comics. Period, and his first introduction was him fighting Hulk.
Yeah, so that's a big deal right there. That is an iconic piece of comic book history.
So it's not just the animated tie and stuff. It's pretty much, well, how can you not? This is one of the ultimate matchups along with Hulk versus Thor. That one's like kind of the always continuing battle. Who would win a fight, Hulk versus Thor? But also, let's talk about one of the ultimate introductions of the big Marvel characters getting the movie soon, Wolverine. So that was their mindset, I assume, going into it. And of course, they figured, look, we're going to that. Weapon X is going to be a big part. Not as big a part as it should have been. A big part of Wolverine Origins. So, let's
just believe it's a bigger part of this than it is of Wolverine Origins.
Exactly. So their mindset, I assume their mindset was, hey, listen, we got to build up Weapon X. Let's do them right in the animated film, and then we'll see if it's screwed up.
And then we'll just botch it. We'll just completely botch it.
So we'll throw in characters like Sabretooth, and we'll throw in characters like Sabretooth, Lady Deathstroke. They remember him. They remember her from X-Men 2.
Oh yeah.
And let's also throw in a great new character, big staple of Weapon X, Deadpool, Wade Wilson, awesome Merc with a mouth, and we're gonna do
keyword with.
We're gonna make people fall in love with this guy, myself included. And then we're gonna build them up. People are gonna hear, oh my God, Deadpool's gonna be in this movie. That's awesome. And then in the third act, we're just gonna pull a screw job on him. We're just gonna sew his mouth shut. So again, literally, Merc with a mouth, and they just add the word out because I'm just out of that movie theater at that point. It's stupid.
All right.
Anyway, so the point is,
we could go on about that for
so basically, just in a nutshell, I assume people who are big Deadpool fans going into this, myself, this is my first introduction to Deadpool, and I assume many other people introduced Deadpool the first time they fell in love with the guy, or at least they sort of liked the guy, and then in first 10 minutes of Origins, loved the guy, then the ending, what the heck happened? In a nutshell, well, thankfully, c'est la vie, we got a Deadpool movie on the way, it's looking good, so it all worked out in the end.
Indeed.
Anyway, so on to the movie. And so I guess the quick summation. So pretty much is that it's kind of to promote the Hulk further in the Avengers down the line. Let's get the Hulk in the mindset, and also tell one of the great origins of Wolverine.
Sure.
But not just tell them his actual origin, but also talk about the origin how he met the Hulk. That was the idea.
Okay.
So in a nutshell, here's what we got in the movie. Not a lot of plot here. Pretty much big old slugfest fan servicey awesomeness. Logan is hired by Department H, the Canadian government, to take down the Hulk after a small town's been ravaged. Finds the Hulk on the mountainside, battle ensues. Weapon X interrupts with Deadpool. Hey, Logan, I just shot you. Anyway, so Logan, while he's out cold, he has a little flashback to his origin with Weapon X, and essentially he kind of talks about the Barry Windsor Smith miniseries that kind of gave us the origin of Wolverine, how basically kidnapped and basically did it right instead of having the movie did it. Just a guy in a bar gets kidnapped. He has adamantium grafted to his skeleton, and pretty much he gets dehumanized, and then he breaks out eventually. That's it in a nutshell, and we see that in flashback. Really nicely done. Really, you feel bad for Wolverine. Really, even in PG-13, it's really horrifying how they treated Logan. Really horrifying.
Yeah. He
awakens. We basically get the gist of the plan here. Professor. He's not really named. I think in the animated version they call him Thornton, but usually just the Professor in anything. Kind of funny. So anyway, Logan works with professors later on.
Physical X back there.
Anyway, so and also he's voiced by Tom King, which is even better.
No way! Oh God, I had no idea.
You didn't know? You didn't recognize him?
No.
Anyway, so Professor Thornton, or just the Professor here, he basically plans to reprogram the Hulk and basically say, hey, look, We got Wolverine back, which is even better, so we can reprogram him. We got our old weapon back, plus we got the big, new, possibly more powerful weapon, the Hulk. We reprogram this guy. Basically, we got a Thor situation going on here.
Mm.
Essentially. So basically, and they also admit to, hey, yeah, we actually caused all that destruction in the town. The Hulk was kind of saving those people, but, there is expected collateral damage. Weapon X invested a lot of time in you, Wolverine, and pointy things, Deadpool adds. Sorry. Anyway, so then basically, so Logan's he's knocked out cold after some funny exchanges with Deadpool, which we'll touch on in a moment. He awakens to see Lady Deathstroke and Sabretooth there. They want to kill this guy like there's no tomorrow. Professor says, no, we're going to reprogram him. More valuable alive than clink. He's knocked out. He's really severely hurt, but he's knocked out. A fight ensues, a lot of stabby time, to quote Deadpool. Wolverine, he breaks free of the little fight there, rescues Bruce Banner, gets him out of the tank. He's being kind of a crybaby, gets him the Hulk out as he fights the rest of the Weapon X gang. He hulks out, pretty much helps defeat the rest of the Weapon X guys. Base crumbles as the Hulk he smashes everything, including Little Man and the Claw people, and he wants to rip Talking Man's head off. All that stuff. Anyway, so then pretty much they get out of the base, knocks literally kind of bats Wolverine out of the place. Really awesome. And then they basically kind of have like an ending to a Rocky movie, kind of like a rematch moment. And then the very end, we see that Deadpool is, in fact, a lot of people died in this movie. They have healing factors, so I'm sure they're going to be fine, but a lot of people died. And one of the main guys out of the healing factor, who gets out of the thing unscathed, Deadpool's, I'm alive! Hulk smash. Ow! In a nutshell.
All right.
In a nutshell.
Well said. Okay, so let's get into some of our favorite moments. I will go first, and I will steal one of your favorite moments right out from under you, like the bastard I am. Deadpool's introduction! Yeah.
Well, pretty much all my favorite moments are Deadpool moments, that's fair enough.
Okay, so I again, like, this is a lot of people's first introduction to Deadpool that weren't into, like, the comics. I mean, I assume, was he on the 90s cartoon at all, do you know?
The thing is, obviously, Deadpool, violent character, mercenary by trade, a lot of murder, a lot of blood, a lot of death. He's not really easily adapted into kids' television. So he had a brief cameo, like there's a guy, not Mystique, but someone else who could shapeshift.
Okay, gotcha.
The idea was he was trying to mess with Logan's head, so he shapeshifted into Weapon X people, and Deadpool was briefly appeared for like 2 seconds.
Okay, so interesting. So this really is outside of the comics. Outside of the comics, this really is like the first time that we're seeing any sort of on-screen representation of him.
In animation, yes, but he's been in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance video game before this, and one of the other X-Men games.
Okay. But this is like cinematically the first time we're seeing him, and
yes.
What a way to introduce him, where it's basically just like, I love that first line, like you said, like, hey Logan, I just shot you. I love how casual it is. It's just like automatically you're just drawn to this guy, you're drawn to his humor. Just really good stuff. Any other Deadpool moments you want to bring up?
Pretty much all of them. I'm gonna try to weed out some really good ones.
First, Deadpool compilation.
Don't tempt me. I know all these.
Okay, go ahead.
Memory. In a nutshell, I should say, Nolan North does the voice of Deadpool. He does a fantastic job. He's the go-to guy to voice Deadpool, because how can you not? This guy's perfect for it. To be honest, he wouldn't be a bad pick to play him in live action. Brian Reynolds is also really good, so Yeah. Point is, Nolan North, he really loved playing Deadpool. It brings a lot of life to it. So let's see. So many great moments. I love, again, I pointed out that he says, and pointy things.
And pointy things.
He loves talking to Logan, and even though he thinks he's Logan's buddy.
Yeah, they've got that whole dynamic going on where Logan really kind of can't stand being around him, and he's just like, hey, Logan, what's up?
I would love a sitcom of these guys together. They're like the Joey and Chandler of the Marvel Universe almost. Just far less friendly towards each other. Just what if Joey could stab Chandler a few times, pretty much. That's about it.
Right.
And anyway, let's see. So I love their interactions when Deadpool was finally, after he's messing with Omega Red, says, Logan, buddy, Weapon X hasn't been the same without you. I mean, Omega Red's a bedwetter.
Oh, yeah.
One of these days, Wilson, I'll tear out your flipping tongue. He's very ashamed.
Oh god. Oh god.
Anyway, so we just want to help the Hulk find his happy place. I mean, you see how angry he is? I mean, I'm sorry, but is he? I think his pants are too tight. And he's being strangled by Omega Red in the background. The whole conversation. Then just by the end, he's just saying, "Oh yeah, it makes you feel. Oh Logan, don't look so sad. It makes you feeling better. Lady Deathstrike tried to kill you in your sleep. I mean, we all hate you, but she really hates you. Hey Logan, still got that unbreakable skull? And darn it." Just the idea to flex. I guess two other moments real quick. Just the big moment. I think we all love this moment. Deadpool, yeah, because his favorite gun was destroyed. He's a katana man. He loves his sword play. He jumps in, banzai, and Wolverine cuts his arm off. And much similar, in a similar way, and this is actually really brilliant, by the way, and they addressed it in the commentary and stuff, that, ordinarily this would be a horrifying situation, really give him an R rating, but the reason they got away with it is kind of they pulled Toy Story 2 Woody scenario here, in terms of it's kind of easily placated, like, no, it's fine, he just lost an arm, but he's not bleeding out or anything.
Right, yeah.
So pretty much it's just Deadpool saying, oh, well, that's just uncalled for. Hey, you give me a hand? I'm just kidding. I'll be right back. Throughout the whole fight, he's just the mundanity of Deadpool, just filling with the limbs. Oh god, now it's on backwards. It's upside down. There we go. And of course, the moment where he and Wolverine are running from the Hulk, and then he just does that. Deadpool is actually an homage to a lot of homages throughout this thing. We couldn't really show you, but take our word for it. A lot of homages to the classic comic moments with our Wolverine and Hulk fights here, and there's actually one cover that's an homage to a Deadpool versus Hulk cover.
Is there?
Yeah, where Deadpool's on top of Hulk's head, putting the grenade in his mouth.
Okay, nice.
That's an homage to an Ed McGuinness cover where Deadpool's he's like basically the gag is like he's just trying to fight Hulk, even though obviously no avail, Hulk's just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so pretty much his dad was like, Logan, I think we lost him, buddy. Who wants snacks? You do. And everyone lived happily ever after. Well, except for the Hulk. The point is, I'm sorry. I'm going on rant.
No, don't worry about it.
I love every Deadpool line. That's pretty much simply it. Just any Deadpool has amazed me. I fell in love with him again.
Yeah, no, it's a great introduction to the character, like kind of on a mainstream level, I feel like.
But I mean, I guess relating to the Hulk, I mean, there was this one really subtle moment I did like with the Hulk. I want to point that real quick, if I may.
Well, just let me kind of just really quick. This is my other moment, just really quick.
Go ahead.
As we've mentioned before, I can't get enough of the moment where Hulk just has Wolverine cornered, and he's just like, Hulk is going to smash the little man. That is awesome. That is by far my favorite moment in the whole special, I think.
There's this really understated Hulk moment I really liked. It's after he smashes Wolverine repeatedly with the rocks. Just smashing like a giant rock, and he just literally pummels him for a few minutes. Mm-hmm. There's a moment where he walks away, and like after he's done all the smashing, Hulk kind of has that calm moment of like looking out to the kind of he's trying to calm down. It's like a little subtle moment with the Hulk I really liked. Just like that, like. And then Wolverine just wants to get in for round 2. It's right before the next guy's taken him down.
Oh yeah, I love that. And then he just like turns around, and then Wolverine's there, and it's all epic. It's
yeah. I just say I love that little quiet moment with the Hulk. It just says so much within like a little moment. I mean, I really like it. Anyways, the point is, I love a lot of the again, the flashbacks awesome. Is really faithful to the Barry Windsor Smith stuff without kind of going through every single detail, but really, really neat. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised how faithful they get just within like literally like 3-4 minutes in that. Maybe
it's quick. It's definitely quick.
I mean, there's so much humanity in there.
Yeah. One scene I really like is just kind of the classic scene of Logan being injected with adamantium.
Oh yeah.
Just because, like, oh my God, it's horrific. And it's
turn the adamantium levels up. Turn the adamantium levels up to full capacity or something like that. And basically is. Again, this is something they really, basically, just watching this, I would just say, Warren Orange, how could you go wrong? Make that into your movie, that flashback, then you're done. Basically, take the first 10 minutes off awesome Weapon X stuff going on there, okay, so they're on mission, and then I know it'd be still a little finagled how you get them from point A to point B there, but still, He's in Weapon X, and the third act of the movie is him kind of finding his humanity again. Do that, because that was that was the brilliant thing of the flashback, is that you see this is the your regular average Joe guy getting drunk at a bar, having his humanity taken away from him. He's like an animal towards you. Like you see him go through so much pain, like just so cruelly callous pain, like turn the levels all the way up.
Right.
Like there's the blood from his eyes, and there's the first moment where the claws come out, he realizes was happened to him.
That's a classic Kong moment, of course.
Oh, it's so horrifying. And also they have the classic homage, a lot of homages to the classic comic art on the covers, and the Barry ones dismissed of. The big moment was when he's in the snow training with a little bear helmet on.
Oh yeah, that's
That's the classic image from that book of him with that little scanner on, so they can monitor him killing the bear and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, I kind of want to get into kind of the weak point that I have with this that you probably disagree with, which is I was really stoked about like the first 10 minutes of this movie, because it's like we have the really cool cold open with like Logan, and he's like screaming in pain, and then he's like, what the hell happened? And then the Hulk comes down, just like, oh yeah. And then, we get just a really quick setup, about the Hulk destroying this Canadian town. And then, like, right away we get awesome Hulk action, just really, like, pulse-pounding Hulk action.
Which, by the way, a really cool moment when Wolverine's doing this kind of detective scent thing where he just smells and he gets, okay, there's someone toxic here. He smells the gunpowder. He pictures the Hulk in his mind where he thinks it looks like. He's never met the Hulk. He pictures this huge faceless monster about to kill a little girl. That's an awesome shot. And in actuality, he saved that girl. That's awesome.
And then I also like the moment that kind of pays off later with the set where he's at Banner and he's like, what's he say? It's like, you smell rotten or something like that.
You smell toxic.
Toxic. You smell toxic.
Who are you?
And then really quick, I love the intro of Logan where it's like the kid on the plane like, sir, I know I'm not supposed to ask questions, but who are you?
No one you want to know, kid.
Yeah, really good stuff.
So again, we should, for a moment, highlight some of our voice talent here.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So again, speaking of Wolverine, Steve Blum always does. He to me, basically, short of Hugh Jackman, this guy is Wolverine. He's a fantastic voice actor. He's always voiced Wolverine as long as I can pretty much think about it.
Pretty much the animated equivalent of Hugh Jackson in terms of like how prolific he is with the role.
But yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay.
It's like you always give. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's played calm Wolverine. Wolverine, the X-Men, does a good job at it. But most likely he's kind of like this guy's mastered the snarl.
Yeah.
Same. And speaking of that, Fred Tatasciore. I mean, the guy. The old adage with Fred Tatasciore in animation voicing the Hulk is his throws like cured leather or something. So basically, this guy can scream as the Hulk like there's no tomorrow. Like short of. I mean, basically, Tatasciore and Lou Ferrigno are the go-to guys for Hulk screams. But again, Tatasciore brings a lot of personality to it. He plays very different levels of the Hulk. I'm not crazy about his most recent Hulk work because he's playing like the Hulk Agents of Smash cartoon, which
I've heard that show's got a lot of problems.
It's putting Hulk, and it's such a shame because it has a really good writer working on it. It has Paul Dini working on it. Which crushes me, by the way.
Doesn't get much better than that, yeah.
And Scott Mosier, actually, no, he might be working on Ultimate, but he points to the new Marvel stuff. Scott Mosier from Smodcast, Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
They work on the Ultimate, Paul Dini and work on the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff, and the point is, Agents of Smash is pretty much just a lazy man's Hulk in a sitcom.
Oh, no.
And it's a reality.
Is it like Toddler Titans?
No, it's actually no. Oh God, no. It's pretty much Hulk on a reality show, pretty much. It's not even a good reality show.
Oh, weird.
And it's not even like I know you'd go nuts for it if it was Survivor type thing.
Oh, of course, like a Planet Hulk thing, but just with Survivor. That'd be they sign me up.
No, it's like Rick Jones has like a web series of like he's basically has cameras following around. They have confessionals. So basically, like The Office with the Hulks, pretty much. We're just without the documentary thing added to it.
Okay.
Anyways, the point is, it's kind of disappointing. Not crazy about that with him in it, but still, he does a good job with the Hulk usually. And like again, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, great Hulk performance. He gets to do a lot of his comedic Hulk stuff in that.
Nice.
Also, it's Tom Kane as the Professor, which is hilarious. But no, seriously,
strange because he's playing two Professor characters, and I didn't even know it was him.
Yeah, and by the way, just Tom Kane's always good, and he brings us that callousness to the professor.
Right, right.
And he's like this, like Wolverine. You know, he does that the Hannibal Lecter type delivery with this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Weapon Nexus invested considerable time and money into you, and pointy things.
And pointy things.
That's so funny. Also, just that real quick, so there were other Weapon X, not all of them, but like, we got Sabretooth in there, we got Omega Red, and of course Lady Deathstrike, the most as said by the guys who worked on this, most pissed off girlfriend in the Marvel Universe as Lady Deathstrike, Janice Joud.
Mm.
I'm probably butchering that name, but she does a good job. And also, there's like a weird moment in the movie where she does this really kind of creepy, sensual thing where she's like stabbing Wolverine.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Let's just say she gets like, a dirty amount of pleasure from killing Wolverine.
Whoa.
She does. You can they pull it back a little, but
All right.
Point is, yeah.
Now, I was going back to kind of what I was talking about, like, let's see if you can kind of defend it a little bit as kind of a bigger X-Men / Deadpool fan than I am. But like I said, I think the first half of this movie, everything leading up to Deadpool showing up, I love Deadpool, but I think it's kind of like that's why I prefer the Hulk versus Thor. Is that there is Hulk throughout this movie, whereas with this, it's like kind of midway through, it kind of turns into like a mini little like Weapon X story, and Hulk is barely even in it until like the last 5 minutes or so. So that's kind of my main problem with this thing. I'm not saying this stuff is bad. I mean, everything with of course, everything with Deadpool's entertaining. All the flashbacks are good. I'm just saying, I definitely think Hulk versus Thor is the better standalone Hulk story.
Well, it's interesting that I'm not sure how much hindsight they had working on this thing. Again, we can only speculate what they had in mind going into this, but the sequel to this is more in line with how so the original story, the one that this movie is kind of like loosely based on, with a mix of the Wolverine, Barry Windsor Smith stuff.
Right.
Is again, the 180 and 181 essentially is Hulk. The opening to the movie. So Wolverine is hired by the Canadian government to find the Hulk, and the idea in the story is the Hulk is actually the Wendigo, a Hulk bad guy. And the Wendigo, basically, it's like a Sasquatch type monster.
Oh, okay.
And in the animated in Wolverine and the X-Men, that's the episode where they meet Hulk and him meet up again. And the idea is after they've had a little encounter here, they've met up again, and then they take on the Wendigo. So it's an homage to the original story in the sequel. Nice. So it's a little more based on like when they first met. So it's more Hulk in the story in that one.
Sure.
So again, I'm not sure how much hindsight they had there, but I think mainly, again, we can only speculate that the priority here was like, hey, we got to introduce Wolverine for the kiddies. We got to basically, the Wolverine movie's close to coming out.
Because Deadpool is such a child-friendly character.
Yeah, no. It still shocks me how many kids like Deadpool now. It's just
oh god. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I've been Deadpool for a few times on Halloween. I'm still kind of scared by how many kids recognize me.
Oh god.
They say, "Hey, Deadpool, the kids, you should know about this guy."
I guess that kind does it reassure you that not many kids recognize me as Walter White when I went out as Walter White. The parents definitely did, but not the kids.
Yeah, but the kids recognized Deadpool, which is scary. Anyway, okay. My point is, so the priority here, because Hulk already had his movie and Wolverine's movie's coming out, so probably the priority was let's focus more on Wolverine. The idea is it's them meeting for the first time, so it's in line with the original story, which
that makes sense.
Just takes a turn a little more towards Wolverine for that reason. But you got a point. Hulk could have had a bigger role, maybe because it was such a slow. Shortened runtime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. It was 10 minutes shorter than Hulk versus Thor.
Yeah, I think there is a good allegory for the Hulk there. The Hulk represents, Hulk represents a lot of stuff for Logan. Basically, Logan has a new perspective going into this of like this guy's in the same position I was, and I'm going to save him from that. So I think he had a good role in terms of Logan's motivation in the story. Then again, Logan is really mean to him through a lot of it, so take it for what you will. I mean, like he literally stabs him in the chest just to make him Hulk out. Says, "You're gonna cry. Now's a good time for it."
Yeah, he's pretty brutal about it.
Yeah, he is brutal, and that's just kind of the classic thing of Hulk and Wolverine never really get along that much.
Right.
So I mean, there's always going to be that kind of antagonist. Again, it's like the end of the Rock. It's like, hey, next round, yeah.
Gonna fly now.
Not the Eye of the Tiger, but yeah.
All right. So, any other kind of highlights from this you want to talk about?
Well, again, I really like Les. Just real quick, so I mean, the reason I kind of fell in love with Deadpool in this is he's a guy who has really struck me with Deadpool characters. That he's a guy who I'm not the first person to say this. He kind of loves what he does, and how can you not? It's like Wolverine is the best there is at what he does. He really take a lot of joy in it. Deadpool is the exact opposite. Deadpool loves what he does, and it's not just like he's not like a sick psychopath guy in terms of like he likes savoring like a Joker or a Bullseye. Like I like
sure.
He's not a guy who says I like watching the life drain out of their eyes. No, he just likes the adventure. Deadpool likes the thrill, likes the adventure, likes the people he meets. Like he's like the only guy in the Marvel universe having any fun with it. Saying
exactly.
Yeah, Spider-Man has people trying to kill him all the time, and Deadpool's like, oh, someone blew up my apartment again. I'm gonna find him now. I'm going on a little adventure. Maybe I'll get paid at the end. Yeah. So Deadpool's the guy who he's the guy who takes the Marvel Universe in stride and he realizes, hey, I can get away with anything. This is a grand adventure. It's not even real. It's like, he breaking the fourth wall and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Strike pose. And there's a really funny moment where after, again, Professor Thornton was kind of like, he's clawed down, and then Sabretooth is so stupid. He figures, oh yeah, before the runt gutted him, he said, we should kill Wolverine. And just Deadpool's like nudging on the ground. Well, he'll live, but he's going to need some serious TLC. Tells Omega Red says, huh, you buy that? I would think his last words are, Sabretooth! Who cares? Let's go kill him. And this is, all right, Ponytail. Who am I to say no to a little murder? Strike a pose. So the point is, Deadpool is the guy having fun with it. Despite there is kind of a big inconsistency with the whole Deadpool story. I'm sure they weren't thinking of that because, again, Deadpool's a little unknown at this point.
Right, yeah. I mean, he was going to explode in a few years, but yeah, we were still a little far away from that.
Because, I mean, the big thing with Deadpool's character is that he really wants nothing to do with Weapon X because they turned him into Deadpool. So
right.
I mean, he did come from Weapon X, and they were a little vague on like why Deadpool was there. Maybe he was hired. Again, Deadpool doesn't hold grudges for long, you know. So I mean, it's unknown. But
okay.
The point is, it was really fun. I thought the action was really cool. Again, it was fun seeing kind of these other Weapon X characters. They all had something interesting about them.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. It's like, again, I kind of wish the runtime was a little longer, so we would have kind of got to spend a little more time with them.
But Hulk's presence was there, and they kind of gave him the Jaws treatment. So the benefit is when you have Bruce Banner in your story, like Thor is more like the divorce of Bruce Banner and the Hulk. You have that sort of that Jaws effect, and they kind of do this in the Marvel movies, and it actually might be a bit of an homage to the show. The TV show, because in the TV show he would only Hulk out twice.
Good point.
TV show he hulks out twice. Avengers he hulks out twice. Here he hulks out twice. Usually he hulks out twice, and I think it's kind of a nice build. That's an appropriate build for the Hulk, perhaps.
All right, well that's a good argument. Okay.
So I mean, you don't want to overcrowd with Hulk, otherwise, then if you have Hulk in there too much, then he just defeats all of them. So then movie's over.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, go ahead.
Basically, if the Hulk knew those guys around him, he'd take him out instantly. The minute he wakes up, then it's over. And that's exactly what happened. The minute he woke up, it was over.
Yeah.
They did the smart thing, though, and drugged him for a moment. That's why he needed to be stabbed. But at least they thought they had the forethought to drug him.
Right.
Okay. So, we don't want this guy hulking out, or else he's going to kill us. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Now, speaking of the Hulk defeating other people, we thought it'd be fun to kind of round out our little look at the Hulk versus series with some speculation on what other matchups we'd like to see. Now, I want to kind of make this quick, maybe like keep the pitches to like 1 or 2 minutes at the most, but BlueDragonFive and myself, we both have 3 of them, so BlueDragonFive, you want to hear my pitch?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, well, my first pitch is Hulk versus Spider-Man, and this is from one of my favorite Avengers storylines. It's the, I don't know if there's any one run or anything like that, because it definitely happened a bunch of times where Spider-Man's constantly wanting to join the Avengers. The Avengers think he's just too much of a smart aleck about it. And the big kind of litmus test for whether or not Spidey can join the Avengers is always when the Hulk goes on a rampage, they send Spidey after him. So it might be possible that we could see this in the MCU. Like, now that Spidey's in the MCU, I think that is, like, one of the big things about Spidey's character, and we've talked about this before, but I would honestly be disappointed if Spidey's just, like, welcomed in with open arms to the Avengers, because it's such a big story point in the comics that he is not accepted by the Avengers, and it really defines a lot of his character. So I'd really like to see an animated film kind of exploring that dynamic, you know, just kind of like a half hour, like, you know, Spidey, he's wanting to impress the Avengers, Hulk gets out, you know, he saves the day, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's a big crime Spider-Man hasn't gotten any animated movies. Unfortunately, it looks like Marvel's going to shut down their animated film division.
Well, then all this speculation is useless then.
Well, no, I mean, like, I think the only thing they're kind of doing now is, like, they worked on a few of these. I don't know if they're still doing them, but, like, they had, like, these weird kind of anime-inspired movies. So,
weird, okay.
I don't know if those are still in production, but the point is the regular animated one's going to end it at the last Thor one, like Thor Tales of Asgard, I think.
So I guess this is all just wishful thinking.
Well, no. I mean, they have the TV series still going now, so I mean, there's some hope for it. I'm saying in a movie, unfortunately, it's still it's always a crime that Spider-Man never got an animated movie.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your first matchup that you'd like to see?
First of all, again, I approach these in the mindset of just animated films. I didn't really think of the movie. I mean, I could come up with some movie ones if you want, but I have animated ones.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like, I was just saying, like, in terms of Hulk versus Spider-Man, it's such a big thing that, like, I'd like to see an animated version of it, but I also think it could bleed over to the MCU as well, but either or.
Okay, well, it's animated, of course, just because I loved it in a little bit in here, and again, there's a mini story about it, but I'm saying, well, just make it your own adventure, because this has happened a few times, just Deadpool versus Hulk. Because
yeah,
it actually
kind of a spit-off.
There's actually a really funny rematch he had with Hulk that was really Deadpool was trying to die for a while, and of course Deadpool healing factor not really an ideal option for him. The idea is he kept pestering the Hulk because he wanted him desperately to kill him. So he just kept pestering the Hulk until he would kill him. Like the Hulk, I forget what the deal was, but the Hulk was I think he was just regular Hulk, but he just didn't bother with Deadpool. He was like smart enough to realize, nah, I'm not killing you.
Right.
Anyway, so Deadpool just kept bugging him and bugging him until the end, where Hulk just like he didn't really just want to kill him. He just like, had to get him out of the way, just like smashed him. And the thing is, though, Deadpool's still healed from it. He was like in a hospital beds for a while though, as he was being arrested. It's like nuts.
So you basically want to see something like that, like Deadpool just pestering the Hulk to kill him?
Yeah, or like Deadpool goes on a mission, because the first match is basically he just needed to get a sample of Hulk's blood. Maybe basically do that, but make it a little more drawn out, something like that. He goes on a mission. He's done this with like characters like the Rhino before. It's really funny when he faced the Rhino, but I'm not going to get into that. The point is, Deadpool versus kind of a foe versus somebody who just like doesn't want anything to do with him, just ends up being a fight out of annoyance. Could be really funny.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Or just maybe they fight, then they team up, which could be hilarious, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, my second idea, and this is definitely like the most serious one out of the bunch, is Hulk versus Punisher. Now, what we could do with this is we could kind of have the setup be a little bit similar to Hulk versus Wolverine, where Hulk is kind of framed for the destruction of innocent people.
Easily done.
Well, yeah, indeed. Which gets under Frank Castle's skin. He sets it upon himself to take vengeance, to punish the Hulk. And the rest of the thing kind of speaks for itself. I just think it's really interesting, just the idea of having like the most physically powerful character in the Marvel universe versus the character with the most corrupted morals and the least to lose, and the one who's going to take every step necessary to get the job done, even if it crosses lines. And I think this would be a really interesting matchup. Of course, Hulk has the advantage here, of course, but I'd like to see how the Punisher would try to do it. You could play with a lot of interesting emotional stuff here. What do you think about this?
I gotta tell you, I'd love to just picturing that in my mind. I'm picturing like the Bill Bixby, like Lou Ferrigno Hulk, and I think that'd be awesome if they did it like that. Personally, I think that'd be awesome. But either way, it sounds like a good idea. But I'm just imagining like kind of like a '70s, like oh man, like a Punisher's going after the Hulk.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
It certainly sounds like the first how he met Spider-Man, which sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Basically, the misunderstanding thanks to J. Jonah Jameson's kind of like, that's Spider-Man, he's no good. I'm gonna take care of him. So it just sounds cool. Okay, this one's a classic fight.
Okay.
Hulk versus the Thing.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that. That's a good idea.
You know, basically they fight for a while, Miss Fantastic, and the rest of the game they break it up, then they all team up to fight bad guy. Pretty simple, but let's make it into a movie. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely, like, the Thing was the one that came first, right? Yeah, because the Fantastic Four was, like, one of the first modern Marvel characters.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting, whereas, like, Hulk in pop culture is definitely... Oh, God, you know what I'm reminded? You know the Stan Lee cameo on The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Where he's in the comic book shop,
yeah.
And he has the Thing action figure,
and he jams it in the Batmobile. Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, I love it. But it's basically like that. It's like the Thing is, you know, he's a good character. You know, he's a memorable character. But Hulk has just overshadowed the Thing in so many ways. I wonder if you could kind of like thematically play with that a little bit in the film.
Well, the idea is those two have also always had a rivalry, and actually I've seen it done pretty funny in like in the animated stuff, even the crappy animated shows they have on now. Like there's actually one kind of neat one where the idea is like that, you know, Hulk and Thing, they go bowling together. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
I'm saying like stuff. I love that they're kind of rivals. And
does Hulk break the alley?
Well, basically he threw him through. I think he threw the Thing through the bowling alley or something. The point is these two have like a funny kind of, not an odd couple sort of dynamic exactly, but they're buddies, they're rivals, kind of like there's like fighting each other, and yeah, so I mean, you know, even the new crappy stuff has its moments, like the idea that the Hulk, he's always like 24/7 the Hulk now.
Okay,
yeah. The idea that he likes to collect little glass figurines he has made by his guardians, and the Hulk it's the one thing the Hulk does not smash. Yeah, like the moments like that. I like the idea of him and like Hulk also play cards together and stuff. And yeah, pretty
sure. Okay. All right. Now here's for my outlandish kind of fanfic idea. Let's have a symbiote storyline with the Hulk. Let's have Hulk versus Carnage teamed up with Venom.
You and Venom. Always you and Venom.
I know it's ridiculous. I know it would never happen, but my God, if there is any character in the Marvel Universe that could rival Hulk in terms of sheer power, it would be Carnage. Carnage is completely awesome. I love Venom as a character. I really want him to be involved in the MCU somehow. He was totally destroyed in Spider-Man 3. I think this would be awesome. I think make it happen. You know, have Peter Parker Spider-Man play kind of a small role in it. You know, he can be in there, but really this is Hulk's story. I don't really even know the details. I just think that specific matchup will be great to see. And again, it's the least likely out of the three I've suggested. I'm aware of that, but it's just kind of my fanfic option. Hulk versus Carnage teamed up with Venom.
I'm going to run through my last one again since you brought up the prospect of the movies. I'm just going to run through my last options here real quick because really the others like footnotes.
Okay.
The actual footage would just be like an actual fight. I guess would be for an animated movie. Would be Hulk versus the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A lot of people have speculated about Hulk joining the Guardians of the Galaxy eventually.
I don't know, but I'd like to see him, you know, fighting Groot, Drax, and a little bit of Star-Lord in there.
Right.
Oh, what if he tried to quail the Hulk with music and it worked for a while?
What song would he use?
Oh God.
It's Not Easy Being Green.
Don't tempt me. Hulk like boogeyman. Hulk, not your boogeyman. Hulk.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? All right. All right.
Smash Rainbow. No. The other two, real quick. I've talked about this before. I'm not going to go into much details. A scene I would actually love to see in Age of Ultron would be kind of an homage to the Spider-Man encounter where Captain America's he protects somebody by putting the shield up, and basically so he's like so prepared for it, like he dives into the ground and because he's super soldier fighting him, like use all his strength like to deflect and beat up the Hulk a little bit. Could be really cool. Love to see Cap versus Hulk. I think I'd drool over that because we got a taste of it in the Incredible Hulk with him versus Blonsky.
Sure, yeah.
Love to see that. And also this one just kind of came to me real quick. It's like Ant-Man versus the Hulk. Maybe
that would be great.
Be kind of cool. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay, so so I guess
let's circle back to Hulk here. Let's what do we learn about the Hulk in this?
Okay, well, I guess in this one he's kind of more primal than he is in the other one.
Yeah, you got more classic Hulk. You remember the Hulk that beat Wolverine for the first time, so you gotta see.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I just think the Hulk has less screen time, so I just don't think there's as much to talk about.
Well, we get more personality from Hulk in this one. In terms of, it's a Hulk again. He has a bit of he's saving people in the beginning. He's misunderstood. People think he's a monster. He's not too kooky about that. Get just a little mean yellow guy keeps stabbing him in the heart. He doesn't like that. Literally, Wolverine stabs him in the heart a few times. Really nasty.
Yeah.
Just that one shot of the claws with all the blood. It shows you it's such a PG-13 movie. Stabbing him in the back, literally.
Yeah, they earned the PG-13 for sure.
They did. They utilized it very well. There's Hulk smash claw people. You're really not. This Hulk is trying to mind his own business. He's trying to save some people. He's getting attacked by these claw people. He's getting attacked by another claw guy. Leave another claw guy. And that little talking man's just bugging the crap out of him. He just wants to rip talking man's head off. The point is, Hulk is just trying to find some peace as he usually is. So he a lot of funny Hulk lines and nickname like ugly girl, like Hulk no like ugly girl,
and of course the iconic little man.
Little man, Hulk is strongest there is. You gotta admit, that's the one thing we were kind of missing from the Thor. All we got was Hulk tired. That's all.
That's true. That's literally the line we got. Yeah. We
got class. This one was more fan servicey in terms of this one was more fan servicey in terms of they got really some really cool action, a lot of cameos of famous characters, a lot of really great one-liners in comedy, and I only got 2 words for you, Bob. Snit snit. Any last words? Only 2. Snit snit. Anyways, the point it was really interesting. Again, I like those little calm moments with the Hulk and just the idea, hey, he's still Wolverine may say, I'm working with you, you freaking idiot, I'm working with you. And of course, Hulk doesn't care. You made him angry, you stabbed him in the heart, he still wants to bat you outside.
Of course.
So, it's always kind of the perpetual, hey, Wolverine and the Hulk, they'll probably never be on the same side. They might be it's actually a funny moment in the rematch in Hulk versus Wolverine. In Wolverine the X-Men. Versus Hulk, that the Hulk has actually come around on Logan a bit in terms of Logan is now smartened up when he's fighting the Hulk and he tries to calm him down. The moment here he realizes I don't suppose you'd be interested in talking this out, would you? Now in the second one he says, yeah, you're the strongest. Yeah, you're the strongest. Look, you're stupid little man. Yes, you're right, very stupid.
Yeah, little man. Yeah.
Then basically, Hulk just kind of calms down, puts him down, and says, stay out of Hulk's way or something like that. And anyways, basically, it's kind of a grudging respect, and then kind of gets thrown out the window where he basically he punches Bruce Banner out to make the Hulk appear because Nick Fury pissed Wolverine off, and basically he left him for Fury to deal with as Logan gets thrown clear a few miles away because he punched the Hulk. So the point is, there's always kind of that fun dynamic between these two. They will never be okay. There's always going to be kind of a grudging respect in terms of I'm going to win this one. No, I'm going to win this one. I want to stab you. I'm going to just break you in half.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that's it's kind of the ultimate fight when kind of the classic fights Hulk versus Thor, but this one's always kind of more brutal. The people want to see this one. The other one is always up in the air who's going to win.
Yeah, overall, I definitely think. It was a good idea to kind of have this compilation because I think Hulk is just one of those characters, and I guess this is kind of going to be my final thoughts on the whole thing. Hulk is just one of those characters where you see just a lot of sides of him, and over the years, just from his first incarnation in the comic books to what we have now. He's just like, he has evolved so much. So I just feel like it's really cool to see the idea of him, you know, because he's basically the only character where it's like, it's logical that any singular character in the MCU would fight him at some point. Because, you know, just because of the whole nature of what he does.
Yeah, it's a tragedy of him.
Right. So I just, again, I kind of wish that this would have been like a series of, you know, of 2 compilations apiece, like, because I think there's a lot you can do with it, as we just explored. There's a whole bunch of matchups you can do.
Which by the way, real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to say something about Bruce Banner is like they do. I do want to speak. They do kind of embody kind of the Edward Norton, but more so Bill Bixby, kind of like fugitive on the run Hulk, where it has that kind of quiet moment, but also that moment where Bruce Banner's alone crying in the woods after realizing the horror of what he's done.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm saying we kind of mock even Wolverine, especially mocks him, like calls him crybaby and stuff. I want to point out, no, I don't think he's an actual crybaby, but I'm just saying in comparison to.
How would you be in that situation? My God.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, I'm just saying people might be a little too much on Wolverine's side. I just want to say there's an understandable grief there. Like, you know, you got to imagine there's got to be a horrible life Bruce Banner leads. You feel for the guy, you really do. So yeah, he does have a lot of burden on him. However, I will say later on, he's just kind of laying his whole sob story out on Wolverine when they're just walking around the base. I gotta say, come on, Banner, not now. He gets it, okay? He's been in the situation, you know, with the metal claws, okay? Just knock it off with the whole, like, you don't know what it's like. It's like the alien from Toy Story of like, oh, basically, like we're going to go to like Nirvana, and they says, well, you just shut up, you idiot, just shut up.
Okay. So any last final thoughts on this compilation of Hulk smashdowns that we got tonight?
Much like Spider-Man, you know, Hulk is one of those great bridging characters. You can meet anybody and always get a good story out of him. So I think we definitely got that. And I think it was right that, you know, we get a great character like Wolverine introduced through a great character like the Hulk. So these two are kind of ultimately entwined in terms of they bring out the best in each other. And I think that's, you know, well, I mean, the best through the worst, if you will. And also by proxy, we got some other great characters kind of brought to screen, and hopefully brought the screen even better in the future, much like Deadpool, voiced by the wonderful Owen North, making a lot of funny one-liners. Gotta love them. Like, bang, 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 when he's shooting the gun, or just like, bang, just kidding.
All right, so give us one last Deadpool one-liner to go out on.
I'm alive!
Hulk smash the little man!